Hello and welcome back to the end of another week. We are out in the garden, obviously. And what's happening in the garden? To be honest, I have no idea. I don't know when to do anything here, but the weather is pretty temperate, much like California, so I'm just kind of winging it. The zucchinis are definitely almost at the end of their life this year. One of them actually died and I pulled it out earlier. There's this one here is actually still trying to crank out a few more zucchinis. So I tend to just leave them and let them do or try to do what they want to do until they decide to die on me, and then I'll pull them out. The loofah I've never harvested, so I don't know what I'm doing. I've watched a few YouTube videos, but that's about it. I did pull out one thinking that it was good enough over there, but it wasn't, so I'm just letting it rot. The other ones are in there. You can see one out here, but there's quite a few really big, nice ones. So I'm looking forward to harvesting those eventually and being able to make my little loofah sponges. The nasturtiums are going crazy. My marigolds are going crazy. The strawberries here actually extend into this area that you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at it. Ultimately, all of the strawberries are actually going to be moving. I don't want them in the beds for next year. Some of them are going to be going into that corner bed over there that I've started. And the other ones I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. But the strawberries are moving. This whole winter squash disaster definitely is not happening again. It's been quite a chore actually trying to work around the sea of squash. And yeah, I mean, they've literally taken probably about 75% of the garden. So I have a feeling they're going to end up migrating like way over there. The plan later is beyond this fence, we're going to have chickens. So this gate will go into a chicken pen or a chicken space. But beyond that is kind of, there's no plan. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is tilling some space along the property line over here and then planting the squash and letting them go batshit wild over there. But it is what it is, and I hate destroying any of it. So for the time being, I am letting it grow. It is continuing to just grow. At first, I was trying to like keep it all on this side, but I've given up. So now, yeah, it's growing over there. It's growing over here. It's just going wherever it wants, and we're getting lots of squash from it, which is kind of cool. And I found an amazing squash soup recipe that we've been eating. So I'm sure by the end of the winter we'll be sick of squash soup, but at least we have a way of using it. This bed was kind of my summer stuff, which is coming to an end. So I have my harvest basket over there, and I've been harvesting a lot of the peppers, which I've decided I'll probably like process and freeze since I don't know what to make with them. These are the same variety as Espelette peppers, but we're not supposed to call them Espelette because we're not in or around Espelette. But anyway, they are basically Espelette peppers. I'm not sure. We're going to make some sort of pepper sauce with those, but I need to find a recipe. The sunflowers I finally cut down. They're actually over there. I'm leaving them out for a little while, mainly because there are some seeds in the heads that I'm not going to harvest. So I'm just going to let the birds eat what they want. As are like some of the tomato pieces that I've started clearing out are over here, and I'll go ahead and leave them. I had cleared out some other tomato pieces, which I left on the other side. And I basically leave them out just for like the birds or the rabbits or whatever to pick and choose what they want, and then I'll throw them into the compost bin. So I have my little thing here that I'm collecting some compost for. This bed has been planted. Hopefully it'll be nice and easy. There's just like garlic and onions and shallots and beets in this one. So hopefully it won't be a mess. If you remember from the summer, this eggplant went crazy and was giving out so many eggplants. And I thought it was done, so I kind of cut it back. Not as much as I should, because I'm going to actually try to overwinter this one, because like I say, our climate isn't super cold in the winter. But yeah, I cut him down, and then he started like throwing out some new flowers. So I don't know. I'm going to leave him as it is and see if maybe he wants to actually make some more eggplants. But eventually I'll go ahead and cut him down to like a little stubby and try to keep him happy for the winter. I might, like some places online say that I can also overwinter like the peppers and stuff. So I might try. I haven't really decided. The tomatoes are crazy because like they're still growing technically, and they dropped a lot of things, but like I don't know if you can really see. They're already growing all of their new little baby tomatoes. So yeah, I kind of feel bad just like destroying it all. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do. But yeah, that's the garden. Outside the garden, we have the pots that actually I bought and planted a year ago when we arrived in France, and they were at his mom's place while we were there. I mean, we're still living there, but since we're spending a lot more time here, I had moved them here to be pretty. And they came back. So I have some roses and chrysanthemums, I think those are, that are growing in along here. So that's kind of cool. I really like perennials because I don't like to constantly have to keep planting things over and over and over again. This is the bed that I was talking about earlier, the corner bed that I had started making for the strawberries. And strawberries will go there. I think I mentioned last week that I was gifted this greenhouse, which I had up here on the ledge. And because the weather's not quite like California, we get a lot of wind this time of year and into the winter. So I came yesterday, and that greenhouse, which was living here, actually had blown like way up there somewhere. So for the time being, it's down here. It may actually stay there. You can see I actually went through and really cleaned out the space. I ran out of the heavy duty landscaping fabric because right now it's all being used up there. But as I lift that up to finish the garden, I'll be able to finish this space. And basically we're actually using the space as like a mulch area. So I have a shredder that I set up over here, and then I've been shredding some of our vines and branches and things like that. And so all the shredding stuff will go over here, and we'll just let it compost in place, and it'll act as a mulch for us to walk on and whatever. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it'll be a nice area to just let the mulch lay and decompose as it does its thing. But I may actually leave the greenhouse there because since this wall is south facing, it gets a lot of warmth and heat from the sun, which would then help keep the greenhouse warm, which is kind of the point of the greenhouse. But we'll see. The clay bricks over there that actually came from this wall got rained on and are totally like mushy now if I went to touch them. I'm actually using them here because we're making the plan is to make a little staircase that goes up because this is at an incline. So it's kind of hard to see, but if I come down here, you can see. So concrete slab. This is just a beam that was in the house that I repurposed because it's the right size. And then I actually just placed the bricks there and let the rain do it and stomped it down. So we'll have like another wood. I'll like dig into the thing and place another wood thing, and I don't know how many steps we'll do, but we were thinking like 2 or 3 to kind of just go around here up into the garden. Yeah, nothing much is happening here. I just have some like these are my passion fruits that I kind of started forever ago, and I don't really have a place yet to plant them, so they're kind of just hanging out in there. This one here is actually leeks, which I'm starting in this little seed bed, and then my plan is that when they get a little bigger, I'll go ahead and transplant them up into the garden, except for right now I don't actually have a spot to transplant them. So yeah, as I get better at planning and scheduling, hopefully that will be less of a problem, and I will have space to put my seedlings out into the garden when they're ready to be transplanted. Francis and I managed to get our little solar water heater up, so that's up, and I think that means that the scaffolding can come down, because I don't think we need to do anything over there. Plans for the future are actually to connect this concrete pad with that concrete pad over there, mainly because when we first bought the house, there was actually a lot of moisture damage here, which we think is because the roof here with the windows is vertical, but then there's this ledge that's at an angle, so the water comes straight down and then basically like kind of pools right in there. And that you can kind of tell is the lowest spot. So basically all the water kind of pools there and creates some moisture issues right in that area. So we figure if we just concrete that whole thing, we'll slant it away from the house, and at least that way the moisture will be diverted slightly further out from the house. But speaking about the house, let's go in and check out the house. Okay, so in the house, Francis has been working on the beam, just sanding it and making it look kind of pretty. So it's actually cleaning up really, really, really well. We're super happy with it. So that's very cool. We got these panels put in. So if I come into my space, so behind here, it's been insulated. So there's insulation, and then this is just a sheetrock. Up here, we didn't really know how to manage this. Originally, we were going to cover it all up, but we actually decided, so this is part of the original beam, and this is actually a beam of the house as well. So at the end, we ended up just filling in the white there and filling in the white here. And we'll go ahead and clean up this beam, and basically all of the exposed wood at this point, we're going to clean up and make look nice and like oil it and stuff like that. And then that is it. We also got like the gaps here filled in. So now of course the frame for the door needs some cleanup, obviously. But that is happening. We have electricity and lights in all of the rooms, which is cool. Down here, we're not exactly sure what's going to happen, because so my room has tiles that have like a wood effect to them. And then this is just concrete. And then those are the original tiles that were here when we bought the house. So since we're actually keeping a lot more of the wood than we had originally thought, we're actually thinking about potentially doing some sort of wood thing here. But the jury's still out on that. But let's go check out the kitchen. Okay, so in the kitchen, we're using the kitchen, but you can see we got some more appliances. So we have our stove, we have our dishwasher. Unfortunately, the dishwasher could not be fully installed because we need the countertops in order to make the final adjustments. But that will actually have a panel that will cover it. So if we come into the utility room there's the panel for the dishwasher. And I think I actually took a photo of Francis holding it up. So if I find that, I'll go ahead and put that in to show you what it's going to look like. So yeah, dishwasher and stove are here. We already have the sink and the stove tops, but those can't go in until the counters are in. This drawer is supposed to be down there. We had an issue because when they installed this, they didn't tighten the water. So we actually had a water leak on day number 1 of having the dishwasher, because they did test it just to make sure it was working. And yeah, and over here we have a microwave, so that's super cool. You can see that we have some mouse traps because yes, we do have some uninvited guests that I need to evict. But yeah, the electrical door is on. So we're just waiting for a couple more things that will get installed. These electrical things will all get installed once the counters are on and once the backsplash is in. So we're having black granite countertops, and there's actually going to be a black granite panel that's going to go under the stove here, under the hood here for all the grease stuff, and I think it'll look good. We haven't decided exactly what we're gonna do with the backsplash yet, because yeah, we just don't know yet. But there will be some sort of backsplash. And then over here, we're gonna have under cabinet lighting there. And over here, we'll have under cabinet lighting there. We're not sure yet exactly what we're going to do with this space. We're kind of thinking about maybe having some open shelves with some more lighting, but we're still deciding about that one. So yeah, let's go check out the rest. Okay, out in the main room, the scaffold moved. So for the first time, we can actually see the mezzanine. So I'll go ahead and put in a before picture that I have from about the same angle, but you'll be able to see that the ceiling originally went all the way to this beam here, covering that window and all that space up there. So that's been opened, the ceiling's been done. I took the wallpaper off last week, and this room is getting prepped for wallpaper. While we did that, the scaffold got moved to this side because this used to be just kind of a small box. It actually has the roll for the shutters that go down here. So when they roll up, they're in a roll and they live in there. But there is a big gap along the top. And when Francis went up there to remove the wallpaper, it was super, super disgusting. So we decided to just go ahead and sheetrock it in. So when the guy comes to wallpaper, it'll just wallpaper straight to the ceiling and there won't be a gap up there because there's really no point in having a gap up there. This opening, we've been going back and forth as to what we're gonna do about it, and we've decided, at least for now, that we're going to put in like a craftsman style frame for this. Something that will maybe match the kitchen, basically like in an oak. I'll go ahead and put our like inspiration photo in the thing right now, so you can see what it might look like. But basically it'll be like wood panels on the inside and then a wood frame on this side and a wood frame on that side, because that way we can have our blue wallpaper in this room, because we picked a peacock blue, and then that salon over there will have a different either paint or wallpaper. And then last but not least, Francis finished the wallpaper in the bedroom. So we are very excited. This is our bedroom, and this wallpaper we had already done together a couple weeks ago. He actually figured out that it's easier for him to just do the wallpaper mainly by himself, and then I just kind of help be a gopher when he needs tools and stuff. So he finished all of it on this side. Obviously the doors and around these beams were a pain in the butt. But it looks really nice, and we're very, very happy with it. We will be getting baseboards, so don't worry about the wall to floor gap there, because it'll have a baseboard. And I've already cleaned up the floors once, but we're not cleaning them up again until the end. So these spaces are almost done. Oh my gosh. So Francis is also fixing the floor here, which had some issues. We had to like carve out some screws, and so he's going to repair all of this and then just kind of wood putty the holes later. The tile guy still has to come to grout the steps, but this room is basically done. It's been sealed with silicone all the way around. And we're probably just going to put in some like IKEA closet things. This is the closet. So yeah, things are happening. We're very excited. And I think that is about it for this week. And I'll go ahead and leave you with our scaffold view in the bedroom. See you next week.